All right, welcome back to the next lesson. So we are going to focus on 1.1.4, which is talking about different systems implementation. Again, and we're talking about systems fundamentals on this topic, which are all the things that take place before, during, and after a new system is implemented. So the objectives for today, after you complete this lesson, you should be able to define SaaS, software as a service, define on-premise software, relate and analyze the difference between software as a service and on-premise software solutions. Okay, so software as a service, what does that mean, right? So it is a method of delivering software where instead of accessing the software on your actual computer, so the software is installed on your actual computer, you're accessing it via the web. You're accessing it online. Okay. And we do that a lot, especially in our school setting. And we'll talk about how later. But this is a very popular way to access services now through the web. As long as you have an internet connection, you'll be able to access the software. Um, we're going to talk about some of the pros and cons of this type of service. Okay, so software as a service, you can think of it as accessing things in the cloud. So there are different types. There are content management, custom relationship management software, database management, maintenance software, email like Google Mail, and payroll. All these type of services and more can be offered through the web. So these are some famous software as a service companies. You probably have used or familiar with some of them. The main one being Google. Okay, so here in Palm Beach County Schools, we are a Google district. So everything we do is Google Mail. We have the entire Google Suite, Google Classroom. All those things are accessed through the web. Nothing is installed on our computers. If we go to any computer that has an internet connection, we can access the services. We can access Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Classroom, or Google Drive, or Google Mail. And that's because it is software as a service. Like our district is paying Google a certain amount of money to have those services offered to us, and all we need is an internet connection. Okay, Office 365. We also have this. If you go to your student portal, you have access to Word and PowerPoint and all those things, but in an online setting, right? So nothing is installed on your computer. You can access it as long as you have an internet connection. Some of you have used Dropbox to save files. Adobe has online services for, photo editing and things like that. Salesforce is a customer relationship management company that's totally online. And then Amazon Web Services, very popular. A lot of the apps that you guys use, Snapchat, Instagram, their apps are hosted on Amazon servers, and you're accessing them through the web. Okay, so none of these things are actually installed on your local computer. You're accessing them through the internet. All right, so let's compare the benefits and the drawbacks of both. So, um, client's hardware. So this is when you have software installed on actual computers, right? So you have your computer at home and you have Microsoft Word installed on it, right? And then using remote systems, this is that software as a service scenario. Okay, so local installations, the benefits, right? You have more control over your system and your equipment, so you can change it, you can maintain it at your leisure. You don't have to wait on a third party. It's more customizable. Okay. Drawbacks: it does cost more because you have to usually download a license for each computer. If you have a large um, staff base, that could become very costly. Maintaining it is on your own. It's more time consuming. You may have to have an entire team that does maintenance. Um, the ability to stay innovative. Once you invest in such expensive software, it can be really expensive to keep up with the updates. So that's something that also needs to be considered. Okay. Now, remote system software as a service, it's much cheaper, right? Because it's economies of scale. It's more reliable because they're going to have more teams that are well equipped to make sure that the systems are up and running and that they're being maintained. If are there any outages, they're going to be able to be resolved a lot faster than if you had to do it yourself. And again, it can be auto updated. Um, For example, our Chromebooks is when we turn them on, if there's an update, it syncs and it downloads automatically. We don't have to manually do it. Okay. But there are drawbacks, right? We have an increased concern for privacy and security. We are trusting a third party with our information, right? And what if that company's servers and systems get hacked and are compromised? Then that means our data and our information is also compromised. So we need to keep that in consideration. And then you have less control. You're at the mercy of the third party. So you just have to weigh the benefits and drawbacks and decide, am I going to just have the software installed locally, or am I going to take advantage of software as a service? Okay, so there's some examples. Again, client based, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. These are all things that are installed on your local computer. Your computer is doing all the processing. Cloud and software as a service, so Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides. Everything is online. As long as you have an internet connection, you can access it. The web server is doing all the processing, and you're just kind of the client that's viewing the information. Okay. And that is it. So, in the next lesson, we will talk about installation processes and the four main types. All right, and I'll see you in the next lesson.